Homewrecker or homemaker? How many times we have heard on the media that domestic workers had been abused, sexually harassed and even ran away from home for a better protection. Not just that, we even discovered that some of these domestic workers did abuse their employers' children in order to be able to express their own feelings. This is an awareness for everybody out there. This could be happening around you, but you just did not see it. Pay attention as you might be able to reflect yourself and your homemakers, whether it is a safe and healthy condition for them to work or not. I believe that most of us today did not believe the fact that we as a community sometimes does forget about the right of these domestic workers in order to live a better life by working for you and your family. Along the way of globalization, we have always been fighting over the rights on women and children and strictly prohibited discrimination on women. However, we have to admit the fact that we used to deny these domestic workers' right in life as a human and a woman. What makes them different than us? They are human, they are women, they are working, and they are all legal to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Malaysia is one of the signatories member of Cedaw or Convention on the Elimination of All Discrimination Against Women since the 5th of July 1995. There are about 26 articles in Cedaw that protect women in different ways and approaches. For example, in Article 11, Employment and Labour's Right, which emphasize on women's right at work, and also Article 23, which says everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay to equal work. In this video, we will be discussing more about what is the factor that caused these homemakers turn into a home wreckers. Quickly. Hello, my name is Mayuni Darman and now I will talk about domestic worker in terms of freedom. Domestic worker is a person that bind to human right in the society. Many of the domestic worker doesn't have their own time to do whatever they want to do. But many of them got controlled by their employers to do whatever they want to do, and that mean they have not freedom in their life. That is the human right discrimination. Domestic worker almost every day spend their time in the employer's house, but when they ask to get an off day from the employers doesn't give them a off day because of some reason, private reason, personal reason of the employers. They want to meet their family and friends, but the employers don't allow them. The employers control them and hold their passport so that they can go anywhere that they want. Even when they are sick, they cannot be able to express their sickness because they know that they have a responsibility on their on that family that makes them become more depressed and stressed because they cannot share their emotion, what their problem with family or member. This is what we call as human rights discrimination on women. Goodbye.
Next is, we aim to create and enhance the awareness of this issue, which is a relevant and incompatible wage for the men. Question now is whether their wage is compatible for their work or not. As we know, the maid usually will be working for more than 12 hours a day. So, they basically will do everything in the house, everything. Therefore, other rights here has been secured or been violated. Exactly, their rights here has been violated in terms of work or out of the working time. Why do I say this? It is clear that this issue This issue has violated the Article 11 of Cedaw regarding employment and labor rights, which is about equal pay for work of equal value. 24 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it stated that everyone has limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. So, the solution is more commitment needed to end discrimination against women. So, here, the government and the NGO should collaborate to make sure they get what they deserve. Meanwhile, we as the society, we need consensus to secure their rights.
I will be discussing on the sexual harassment against women, especially among domestic workers. The aim of the Sexual Harassment Code of Practice is to encourage the development and implementation of policy and practice which will ensure a safe and healthy. In my opinion, this thing should be prevented because it will cause a long-term emotional disorder. An agency or any government institution should be able to provide a sexual harassment help to those domestic workers. For example, a hotline and exclusive ID for the maid in order to protect them. Okay, sexual harassment. This is a very serious matter which needs everyone concerned. For example, like this video.
No limitation time workers. Why? Because employer always busy with work until they have no time to spend with the family and to manage the house. Hence, the maid will be the victim. Maid will get up early in the morning to manage the home until late night. They do not get the break enough. In fact, some are not being given any holidays. Their energy deployed for 24 hours a day and 7 days a week without a proper break. What we need to do? First, the government or agency need to take more serious action. They can make a surprise inspection so that the employer is always in a state of caution. 2. Apply tighter lawsuit to employers who abuse the maids. Third, the maids also need to be exposed to agency that can be request assistance. Like this scene.
Ish, mainlah dua orang ni.
Kenalin aku, bos. Kenapa kole?
Oh, kat situ pula korang. Pakcik bangun buat kerja sekarang.
Tak maaf lah.
Tak ada maaf aku buat kerja sekarang.
So, as my path difference with my friends, I will talk about evil domestic workers. When we talk about evil domestic workers, there's a lot of video that viral on social media such as Facebook, YouTube, and others. Either we know it directly or not. The videos about domestic worker or a maid hit their employer's child purposely, or stolen their things, or even kill them. These things happen not as they wanted, but due to certain factors that cause it to happen, as my friends talked before, such as low income, no limitation of time, their freedoms, and even sexual harassment. This kind of things that brings them to do evil, caused by their employer itself. For example, the employers give them pressure and lead them to do such a things. As we know, if someone working under pressure, this would cause by a negative situations. Work under pressure and stress can lead to a deteriorations in the way employees work, or even result they are becoming sick. That can have an impact on the atmosphere in the workplace, the quality of the work produced, and so on. So, as employers, we must not give the pressure to them, and we should know their limits of their times and their freedoms rather than control their workers.
I care.
We share.
I care.
I care.
I care. I care.
Makcik, kenapa buat kat sini?
I believe that most of us today believe okay, salah. Yang ni memang betul salah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. No limitation time workers.
Declaration of Human Rights, which state about which
Every day in their home, in the employ